Welcome back to Royal Productions, where your mind is your crown. My name is Louis, and basically what we do here is cover crypto news, blockchain, and anything to do with the financial structure of our world. Sometimes we cover other worldly events that might pertain to the market, but for the most part, we stick to crypto, blockchain, and informing those who need more information about what's happening in our current reality. Let's take a look at these markets, and then we'll get right into this news I have for you guys today. So total crypto market sitting at 2.06 trillion. Fear and greed index sitting at 16. People are still fearful of the market. Bitcoin slipped past that 60,000 mark. Now it's sitting at 58,000. Ethereum 1,500. Tether sitting at 184 billion. XRP 103. And if you guys want to see the rest of these markets, you can pause it really quick. All right, today's video is going to be a little bit different. I have a PDF I want you guys to go and do your homework on and read about it, but that will be later in the video. So if you guys want to see that and look at that, you guys just fast forward to the last article of the day. First article I have for you guys today is Nasdaq expands distribution of its market data into blockchain infrastructure. Okay, if you guys don't know what that means, stick around. I'm going to go through the details of this article. Okay, next on the list, New York Life makes tokenized debut with on-chain high-yield bond fund with Centrifuge. So if you guys don't know about Centrifuge, they're huge in this market. So is New York Life. They offer insurance, yields, and bonds of that nature. But stick around. I love this building. This is crazy. I didn't even know this was a real thing. It literally has a gold cap. Moving on. Okay, UK to lower stablecoin capital buffers, undercutting EU's MiCA requirements. So we've covered this before, and we'll cover it a little bit more. But basically, the loosening follows at the Bank of England (BOE) reverse over its proposal to limit the value of stablecoin an individual can hold, abandoning its plans to impose a £20,000, 26,000 American cap. So we'll cover that. It seems kind of crazy. You heard it right. All right, but we'll come right back to that. Spickle links EU regulated T-bill funds to Coinbase stablecoin rails. All right. SEC wins 5.5 million default judgment over alleged fake crypto platform Nanobit. I'm covering this one because you guys have to be careful, especially those who are new coming into this market. Be careful which exchanges you use. Be careful who you talk to. Remember, always do your own research. I can explain these articles to you. I can talk to you until I'm blue in the face, but you have to put in the work yourself. You can write down a plan, you can think about a plan, but until you start putting things into action, nothing's going to happen. Okay, last thing I have for you guys today, it'll be linked down below, but this is from PwC, PwC's Global Crypto Regulation Report of 2026. Okay, we'll cover this a little bit later, but all that coming up next. All right, let's start off with this first article I have for you guys today. Nasdaq expands distribution of its market data into blockchain infrastructure. And you guys have to read that again very slowly and carefully to understand what it truly means. My seasoned vets and my returners understand this and how important it is to blockchain and the infrastructure of the global system. Because when you have this market data, and we're talking about Nasdaq, okay, and the market data they have and the accumulation of data they've had over the years, this is all being put onto the blockchain. The exchange operator will offer its TotalView data feed through Pyth's marketplace as financial firms increasingly build applications on blockchain rails. So data is very important, and I know you guys heard this thousands of times, but data is the new oil. Yeah, we got this conflict with the oil, but data is the new oil. And it's very important, not just for building AI models, but also for the infrastructure of our new financial system. Okay, Nasdaq will distribute its TotalView full depth of book equity market data via the Pyth Network, extending access to one of its core data products through blockchain infrastructure. And I'm going to go down here. The TotalView provides a full depth of book data showing buys and sell orders at every price level for securities trading on Nasdaq. So this is huge. The more information, the more data we have for this network, the better it's going to work. And I get it, and I understand the whole idea about data and privacy and stuff of that nature, but we have to understand that until we create this regulatory framework, we're not going to be able to own our own data yet. And I think that's going to be a major catalyst in the future, to the point where if I'm using your services, I own my data because you're selling my data. It's just one of those things where we have to be careful on this slippery slope, because the only way they're able to build new products is based off how we use these products and the data we give them. So in reality, we're building our own networks. They're just kind of constructing it and then organizing it. All right, I'm not gonna go too much on my rant. Moving on to the next article, but I think that's good for the overall market. New York Life makes tokenized debut with on-chain high yield bond fund with Centrifuge. The 807 billion asset manager is bringing high yield corporate bonds strategy onto the blockchain with Centrifuge as Wall Street expands beyond tokenized treasury funds. So when we talk about tokenized assets, they're already working on them. They're moving past them. And this PDF, remember, it's gonna be linked down below. Read it, and we'll go through it in a little bit. But they're already moving into the future of this financial system. So you have to prepare yourself and set yourself up in a position that you benefit from this, because I believe that something dramatic is going to come, something to the point where we're getting rid of the old system and implementing the new system, kind of back when we came off the gold standard. You know how many people were shocked in how the world was when a lot of people noticed it, but some people did not notice what the impact of it was going to be in the future. And that's exactly what's happening with blockchain technology. A lot of people aren't aware of it, but the impact of crypto, blockchain, cryptography, whatever term you want to apply to it, will change millions, if not billions, of lives. When we talk about the unbanked, we're actually trying to grab that data as well. So we talk about third world countries like Kenya, Africa, you know what I mean? We are actually working on trying to make sure we have a level playing field with all countries, and that PDF explains it. So just wait around, we'll come to that in a second. UK to lower stablecoin capital buffers, undercutting EU's MiCA requirements. So the Financial Conduct Authority proposal follows the Bank of England's backtracking on the limit to the value of stablecoins an individual can hold. So they put a proposal out before, and I read it to you. The loosening follows the Bank of England's BOE reversal of proposal to limit the value of stablecoins an individual can hold, abandoning plans to impose a £20,000 limit. And I believe this is because, in my opinion, they weren't 100% ready to put these MiCA laws into effect and all the other things that an individual, because we're moving away from institutional type of investing to where an individual can become their own institution. You can be your own bank. Remember, not your keys, not your crypto. And stick around for why I'm saying that, because not this article, but the next one is the reason why you have to be careful when entering this market. Okay, I never liked this imposed limit. Okay, but they're abandoning the plan because I think they have more infrastructure in place to where they can monitor some of these individual accounts. Okay, remember, read the articles, they'll be down below. Check them out. Moving on. Okay, Spico links EU regulated T-bills funds to Coinbase stablecoin rails, and this is just some more movement into the future. Remember, when we cover these articles, you have to not just stay stuck on one article. You have to put the articles together and look at it from a broader view, because when you look at it from above and take yourself out the equation, then you're able to understand the momentum that we're starting to track every day. Okay, Spico, hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, integrates Coinbase payments into 2 EU regulated UCITS treasury funds, enabling USDC and EURC subscriptions and redemption payments through Base. So Coinbase is, I believe, the layer, the zero, layer 1 or 0 layer, but then on Base, Coinbase's layer 2 network is Base. And Coinbase said on Tuesday the integration of covered cycles, EU T-bills, money market funds, and US T-bills, money market funds, both are structured as undertaking for collective investments in transferable securities. So if you guys don't know what UCITS is, it basically means, where is it at? Undertaking, collective investment, transferable securities. So this is what UCITS is. Coinbase Payments will provide the payment, wallet, and application program interface (API) infrastructure with the transaction settled on Base, Coinbase's layer 2 network. So check this out. Remember, we're moving into the future. When we talk about T-bills, when we talk about debt, when we talk about treasury funds, people should understand that these are government issued bonds. These are the big players, and when they're starting to add this into the blockchain and move real data onto the blockchain to coincide with these markets, then that should let you know something. That triggers something in my mind. Invest, not financial advice though. Moving on. So this is what I was talking about knowing where your money is going, understanding what crypto is. And I'll be coming out with a basic video soon to help those who are new to this, because for those who are listening to this and who make videos and who share content, we have a big responsibility ahead of us, where there's a lot of people going to join these markets and come in, that we have to make sure we navigate and help them understand what they're getting into. Because I know for me personally, when I first started, I really had no one to look at. It was a lot of research on my own, you know, behind a closed door, and just focus. But once you understand it, it's not as hard as many people think. All right, moving on to the article. SEC wins a $5.5 million default judgment over alleged fake crypto platform Nanobit. So the group built a trust via WhatsApp and misappropriated user funds to Hong Kong bank accounts instead of executing the actual crypto trades. This is how I see ETFs, but I'm not going to really go into that rant. So again, be careful of the platforms you're using. Be careful of the little WhatsApp groups that you guys get into. Even with me, don't take nothing I say as financial advice. I don't even tell people about these financial opportunities, because a lot of the times it's one of the things where it's like you can show someone the door, but they have to open and walk through it themselves. So, you know, that's where we're sitting now. And for those who don't want to take advantage of this opportunity, we'll just have to sit back and wait and see, right? All right, moving on to this PDF I have for you guys today. So you guys can go through this yourself. There's about, I think, 100+ pages, okay, 109 to be exact, but it will be down in the description down below. But it basically talks about at the beginning, okay, the regulatory framework, but then it goes into certain countries, and that's what I like about this information. All right, it goes into different countries. It talks about their roadmap, their plan, and how their infrastructure is going to be built around this new system. Let me see, let's go down here. We got the United States. This is where it starts, digital money, how it works, and then we continue to go United Kingdom. That's page 41. It continues Argentina, Australia, Brazil. Okay, Brazil continued. Scroll down some more. Cayman Islands. Okay, you guys get the point. Wherever you live, read this and understand what it's going to do for your I guess community, or I could say, you know, system, financial system where you live. Each place has their own regulations and legislation, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a level playing field. And I keep saying this, and I know it's annoying, but this is exactly what they're working for. So read this PDF wherever you're from and understand what digital currencies, and let me go up here really quick because it made a good point right here. The terminologies used in this report include, but not limited to, digital assets, crypto assets, virtual assets, digital settlement assets, virtual currency, and cryptocurrency. All the same. All the same. The terminologies are spelling following are adapted by the relevant authorities. Okay. So remember, we're moving into the future, and think about these words like digital asset. When's the first time you ever heard of that? Crypto asset, virtual asset, digital settlement asset. These are new terms, and that's why the terminology in this report is pinned right here, because it's letting people know that this is new. and it's not going anywhere. And they say this in this PDF as well. Anyways, hopefully you guys do your research and your homework and read through this. My name is Louis. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. You know what to do. Make sure you hype, like, and share the video with others who love it. Peace.